What's going on, Trash Talkers? We're back with another episode for you. Today's video, we're going to give you our betting guide for Week 10 in the NFL. All that and much more coming your way right now! Hey Trash Talkers, over 85% of you are still not subscribed to the channel. Please be sure to hit that red subscribe button and turn on notifications, as it will help us create more daily content for you. Thank you and enjoy today's video. All right, Nick, with Week 10 starting tonight with Thursday Night Football, we have a lot to get to, and our betting guide is full of a lot of games that should go certain ways, but as we saw last week, nothing is certain in the NFL. So let's start off with an easy one, or what we expect to be an easy one. The Baltimore Ravens on the road against the Miami Dolphins. Let us know who you got in this one.
Yeah, so I think the Baltimore Ravens are going to have a pretty easy time with the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are sitting at 2-7 on the season when, they just came off a very close victory over the Houston Texans. The Baltimore Ravens are incredible right now. Lamar Jackson and this offense are very hard to stop, and they're going to put up a ton of points. I think when you look at the 7.5-point spread, I think that this is a really solid line for the Baltimore Ravens at -7.5. I know they can cover this very easily, and I think this is the way to go.
Next up, for our first 1 o'clock football game, we have the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Dallas Cowboys. The Falcons come into this contest as 8-point underdogs going into Dallas. Dallas not very happy with things. Dallas not very happy with the way things went last week against the Denver Broncos, looking for a little retribution, and it's going to come at the cost of the Atlanta Falcons in this one. I actually like the -8. I think the Dallas Cowboys need to flex their offensive muscles here a bit. I think Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard need to get going. I think CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper are really going to be involved in this passing game. Look for Dalton Schultz to really be implemented as the tight end one, especially since Blake Jarwin is gone now. I think that they really have to get this upbeat offense going, and I look for the Dallas Cowboys to put up a lot of points in this one. I think that the Cowboys -8 is a good bet this week.
Next up, we have the Buffalo Bills taking on the New York Jets with an 11.5-point spread and a 47.5-point over-under. The Buffalo Bills had a very obscure loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars, something that really should never have happened, but will never happen again. I can guarantee you that. And this week, luckily, they have the New York Jets to prove the Buffalo Bills should take this one easy. The Buffalo Bills are an extremely high-powered offense, and if the Patriots can put up a 50-burger on the Jets, I think the Bills can too, and I think we're going to see a score very similar to that. That's why at the 11.5-point spread, I think that the Buffalo Bills could easily cover this one.
Just an interesting stat for this game that you talk about, Nick. The Buffalo Bills have only been double-digit favorites against the Jets 3 times in their history, and the Buffalo Bills, the last time this happened, were 17-point favorites and lost that game to the New York Jets. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. That was back in 1992. But nonetheless, our next football game is the Cleveland Browns taking on the New England Patriots in what should be one of the most exciting football games we have all weekend long. The Cleveland Browns are facing off against the Patriots in what is going to really help determine the AFC playoff picture. It is going to be one hell of a matchup. Not sure where the running backs are going to be on this one, with Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson for the Patriots in concussion protocol. Nick Chubb, Demetric Felton also dealing with COVID on the Brown side, so a lot of big question marks here. At 1.5-point favorites, I have the Patriots taking this one. I think that they're going to be able to beat the Cleveland Browns. They have shown that they can beat the Chargers. They've beaten the Panthers in pretty easy fashion. So at the end of the day, I think the New England Patriots are going to make easy work of this Browns offense, which is really struggling. We also see Jarvis Landry is struggling with a knee injury. Not sure how effective he's going to be. And again, if you're taking all these pieces away so Bill Belichick doesn't have to, then you're making his job much easier. I like the Patriots at -1.5 in this one.
Next up, we have the Detroit Lions taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers with an 8-point spread and a 42.5-point over-under. The Detroit Lions have been winless this season, but they've been playing very competitive games. And when you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and the game they just played against the Chicago Bears, where everything was completely against the Bears and yet they still almost won, I think I look at this 8-point spread and I say the Detroit Lions could easily cover this one. Give them 8 points. I think that they even have a chance to win this game, to play it a little bit safe. That's why I'm taking out their spread and not their money line.
I like that a lot. Next up, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on their intra-division rivals from the AFC South, the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts coming off of that massive victory against the Jets on Thursday Night Football, and the Jags coming off of that sweat fest that they had against the Buffalo Bills, where they eat that one out. Nonetheless, I think that this is one of those matchups you have to really watch out for, because it could be a trap game for the Colts, especially with the offense working for the Jacksonville Jaguars the way it did against a much better defense in the Buffalo Bills. Nonetheless, I don't see an upset here, but I do see a close matchup. I don't like the -10 for the Indianapolis Colts. I actually like the under at the 47.5. I think this is going to be a low-scoring, pace-down game for both teams. 47.5 under is where I'm going with this one.
Next up, we have the New Orleans Saints taking on the Tennessee Titans with a 2.5-point spread and a 44.5-point over-under. The New Orleans Saints are coming off of a big loss to their division rival, the Atlanta Falcons, and the New Orleans Saints offense really showed that they just can't do that much. Yeah, they can put up points, but they're not going to do anything spectacular. Trevor Siemian is no more than a game manager, and when you're going up against the Tennessee Titans with A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, who you've played against many times before, these guys are going to put up points, and you're going to have to keep up with them. I think that's where the New Orleans Saints are going to run into a little bit of trouble. I think that the Tennessee Titans have found a way to play without Derrick Henry already, and they're going to continue to win without him. That's why I will take the Tennessee Titans at their money line.
Next up, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Washington football team. Both teams coming off of a bye, so they've had 2 weeks to get healthy, 2 weeks to prepare. Nonetheless, it still looks like Washington's dealing with issues on the injury bug. Not looking pretty for them. You see the Buccaneers starting to get fully healthy. Maybe Rob Gronkowski is going to play in this one. Antonio Brown could play in this one as well. A lot of big question marks for Washington. I like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and as my lock of the week, I'm taking them at their money line. I think that this is one of the easiest ones to call. Washington has struggled against decent defenses, especially to be able to put up points. They've been able to move the ball a little bit, but this defense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers has been nothing short of spectacular, and I really like what they've been able to do all season long. I think the Buccaneers walk out of Washington with an easy dub.
Up next, we have the Carolina Panthers taking on the Arizona Cardinals. And yeah, we still don't know if DeAndre Hopkins is playing, if Kyler Murray's playing, but is it really going to matter? No, because the Carolina Panthers don't have Sam Darnold, and even if they did, it really wouldn't matter. But the offense for the Carolina Panthers is still going to be bad, and the Panthers defense is not going to be able to stand up against this Cardinals offense. The Cardinals offense with Colt McCoy and Christian Kirk leading the helm is more than enough to put up a ton of points. And looking at their spread at 10.5 and their total 44.5-point over under, I think that I'm willing to take the risk that even if Colt McCoy and Christian Kirk are the number one options for the Arizona Cardinals, I still believe that the Arizona Cardinals can cover their 10.5-point spread, and that's exactly what I'm going to do this week.
Next up, we see the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. This one's pretty simple. The home team, the Chargers, is a 3-point favorite, which basically means Vegas thinks this is a toss-up. They believe that the Chargers have the slight edge because they're going to be at home. The over-under is set at 53, and, obviously these teams can definitely put up points. I think I'm going to take the over on the 53 on this one. I think that the Vikings and the Chargers can really put up points. Both defensives has struggled a lot of offensive firepower against not much to stop it. It's going to be a high octane matchup for both teams, and at the end of the day, 53 just doesn't seem like enough. I'm taking the over on this matchup.
Up next, we have the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Denver Broncos with a 3-point spread and a 45.5-point over-under. When you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they've been getting stronger, and now that Jordan Howard is on this team, on the 53-man roster, he looks like the old Jordan Howard. He looks like a bell cow guy that they can use as their primary weapon to move down the field. And when you look at the Broncos defense, Patrick Surtain is going to be out with a knee injury. The secondary is banged up overall, and up front, I think Jordan Howard has the ability to gash them, which means the Philadelphia Eagles should be putting up quite a few points. Can the Denver Broncos put up any points? Well, Teddy Bridgewater is one of the safest quarterbacks you can find in the NFL. If he doesn't like something, he's just going to take the sack rather than throw a ball that he thinks might get intercepted. So you don't know if you're going to get a lot of points or if you're going to get a few with Teddy Bridgewater. You really got to look at how the defense for the Philadelphia Eagles has been playing. And right now, with the weapons, with Jerry Jeudy being back, with Javonte Williams exploding onto the field right now, I think that they're going to have a very easy time putting up points. And I'm going to bet on the Denver Broncos to make a few more stops than the Philadelphia Eagles in this matchup. And I'm going to take the Denver Broncos at their money line.
Next up, we have the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Green Bay Packers in what should be the best matchup of the weekend. The Seattle Seahawks are not only getting Russell Wilson back, but it looks like Chris Carson will be activated in time for this game as well. The Seattle Seahawks are finally fully healthy for the first time since week 2. It's going to be 100% a get-right game for them, but it comes with the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field, where you see Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams and possibly Odell Beckham Jr. But nonetheless, this is a Packers team that is definitely formidable if Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback. And that is the big question here. If Aaron Rodgers plays, who are you taking? So I'm going to give you two options here. If Aaron Rodgers is playing, I'm taking the Packers at -3.5. I think that Russell Wilson has a little rust he's going to have to shake off. Chris Carson is going to be on a snap count a little bit, so I'm not expecting a whole hell of a lot from him this week. I think they're going to take it easy with him, especially with a neck injury. Never something you want to rush back. However, if Jordan Love is playing for the Packers, and I'm saying if he plays, the Seattle Seahawks at +3.5, you jump on that so fast. You don't even wait for Vegas to change it up. I believe that the Seattle Seahawks are going to be able to put up points. I think Aaron Rodgers can put up just a few more than they can, but nonetheless, if it's Jordan Love, we've seen this rodeo before. It doesn't look pretty for the Packers, and at the end of the day, the Seahawks are much better than the Packers with Jordan Love, and the Packers are a little better with Aaron Rodgers.
And for our Sunday Night Football matchup, we have the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. And with a 2.5-point spread and a 51.5-point over-under, the Chiefs being the favorite in this matchup. Incredible. The Kansas City Chiefs offense has not been able to do anything. They were almost beat by the New York Giants. This team has their issues. And the Las Vegas Raiders have been playing with a lot of heart, and they're going to continue playing with a lot of heart. This is going to be a high-scoring game, and I believe that at a 51.5-point over-under, both of these offenses are going to be slaying the ball. Tyreek Hill is going to get wide open. The new acquisition of Deshaun Jackson is massive, and I believe that he is going to be a huge deep threat weapon for them against this porous Chiefs secondary. It's going to be Score City. I believe this is going to be one of the highest-scoring games of the week, and you're in for a show, and that's why I'm going with the over on the 51.5 total points.
And finally, for our Monday Night Football matchup, we see the Los Angeles Rams taking on their NFC West rivals, the San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco. This is an interesting one because Vegas still believes in the San Francisco 49ers, making them only 3.5-point underdogs. The over-under is set at 49, but I believe in the Los Angeles Rams, and I believe that they're going to be able to put up points. I know they struggled last week with the Tennessee Titans, and not a good look for them. But again, just like the Cowboys, just like the Buffalo Bills, this is a get-right game. This is the game to really solidify your spot in the NFL landscape. And at this point, the LA Rams are going to take a deep breath. They're going to exhale and realize that Von Miller is right next to Aaron Donald for this matchup. They are going to come after Jimmy G with everything they have and then some. We saw Colt McCoy beat the San Francisco 49ers. I think Matthew Stafford can do just that. I'm taking the LA Rams at -3.5, and I'm not looking back.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I think the Rams are the stronger team, and this one is probably not going to be close, similar to what we saw last week with the Cardinals put up. The Los Angeles Rams are going to run away with this one, and yeah, you're right. Take them at their -3.5 points, and you're safe there.
All right, well, I want to hear from you guys. Let us know in the comments down below if you make any bets based on our predictions. All right, well, that's going to be all for now. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.